Well guys, good morning and welcome back to the channel. And like last week, once again, welcome to Belfast. Well, obviously we're not in Belfast now, we're in the bigger smoke of Cumber. Not quite. But as I said last week, the vlog was getting a little bit too long, so we decided to split it into two. So you're going to join us as I think we're just about to get this one fed, so I'm sure she's happy.
I'm always happy when I've been fed.
Even though we were actually going to get t-shirts, yes, where mine said feeder and hers just said
fed.
Right guys, jumping back into the big smoke of Belfast. Hope you enjoy. So we're actually being treated to a little bit of a special one here. So I wanted to come down to the Friend in Hand. I'd actually seen it on someone else's YouTube video a couple of weeks ago. Didn't realise this place was here. And out the front, they've got some incredible looking Irish whiskies. We've just been speaking to the whiskey novice. I shall link his channel up there, up top. And he's allowed us special access into the back tasting rooms. Now, what I would say is if you're in any way interested in whiskey, especially Irish whiskey, probably book yourself on to some little tasting area down here because this is just fantastic. Wow.
It's beautiful. Even the building is beautiful.
It's stunning. Wow.
Yeah. You're not normally allowed back here unless you're buying something or you're doing a tasting or whatever. So we're really privileged. So thank you so much, Jim, for letting us in.
Cheers, Jim. And as I say, I'll link his channel up here and I'm going to be a subscriber because I would like to know, I love my Scotch, but I would love to know more about Irish whiskies. So I reckon I'm going to be sitting down of an evening and catching up with some of his videos and then probably coming in here and spending about £5,000. But just look at it. And in fact, they have the new Old Cumber whiskey has been released as well. And they've got a bottle of it down there. And my granddad actually worked at the Cumber distillery. I think it closed in about the 50s. From the Irish whiskies, this is actually one of the ones I quite like, the Connemara. But this place is absolutely stunning. Jim, thanks so much for allowing us in here. This has made an old man very happy. I'd be happier if we were doing a tasting session.
Have you seen these as well?
Oh, the
old jugs. They're not for sale, but they're just they're beautiful.
Wow, what a room. What a privilege. Absolutely beautiful.
Must have actually won some awards.
When I grew up, I want a room like this. Absolutely fabulous. Well, that was fabulous.
That was brilliant.
Absolutely fabulous. Probably going to organise a bit of a tasting session. We have a couple of friends who are big into whiskey and going to organise a bit of a tasting session.
I think we need to find 4 more friends though, because it's a group of 8 to 16.
So if you're in Ireland and you like whiskey and you'd like to partake in the whiskey tasting here at some point later in the year, drop a wee comment below. But that was brilliant, really, really, really good. And as I say, check out the Whiskey Novices YouTube channel. I'm certainly going to be checking out because I want to learn more about Irish whiskey. Right, where's next?
I'm getting a bit peckish. As usual, I'm getting a bit hungry.
Oh, what about some dirty onions? So that was the oldest tavern. And now we have Belfast's oldest building. They serve wings. Oh, wings. Now we're getting close to lunchtime. We've got loads of the Belfast walking tours. Get yourself booked on a walking tour, get yourself booked on a music tour, get yourself booked on a whiskey tasting session. Probably need about 3 or 4 days in Belfast. Lost her look.
I was just they do rotisserie chicken.
Do you need a rotisserie chicken?
No, but I'm getting a bit peckish.
Well, we'll go get some lunch for you then.
Oh, there's a thirsty go as well. There's so many bars that I just didn't know were here. I mean, you need about 4 days just to come and do the bars.
What did I just say?
What did you say?
4 days.
No! That's freaky.
And just in that area, and I didn't realise the guy who owns the Friend at Hand, he actually owns all the bars in that area as well, so.
Oh, look.
Oh, thirsty goat. Actually, you are a thirsty goat. You're normally a hungry goat.
I'm a hungry goat.
Right?
Yeah, we so missed out. We've lived here for so long and not done any of this. We're idiots.
And on that note, so this area where we're going to, Maggie May's, there's actually another really good bar here as well, Kelly's Cellars, which actually we did manage to make it in for a pint of Guinness just for Christmas. Again, a lovely traditional Irish pub, open fire, really great place to come on a Saturday. We've said it before, 4 days here, folks, 4 days here, and 3 of those in the friend at hand. Yeah, so this is Kelly's Cellars here. And actually the last time we came walking past here, it was absolutely mobbed, full of Christmas people. Oh, we've got to keep talking over the music so we don't get a strike against us. La 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 la.
Oh, why? What happens?
She doesn't have a Scooby-Doo. We finally found it after a little bit of a false start.
Google is rubbish sometimes. It told me we were there and it was over there. So
there we go. We're 1 vlog into the new year, or 2 vlogs into the new year, and she's blaming Google. Right, Maggie May's.
It's obviously very popular.
With a cynical, faithless heart, I've been watching the kings and queens.
Well, that was fabulous.
That was amazing, and I had my very first half and half chip, half rice with my chilli.
She's never had a half and half before.
I know, I can't believe I haven't.
And probably the best wheaten bread I have had in my life. So
Seriously?
yeah,
Oh,
that was
my word.
incredible. So again, in Belfast, get yourself in there.
May's.
Maggie May's for a bit of food.
Yeah, really, really nice.
Right, well this one here has had enough of vlogging and she's off to do a bit of shopping.
Browsing. Got no room, literally got no room for anything else.
Looks like it's just me now. Maybe I'll go back to the whiskey shop. Shh. We won't. See that look? If looks could kill, let her go shopping. We'll carry on with a little bit more mitching around Belfast, but that top stuff. So we are now in the linen quarter, which has got the Grand Central Hotel, a very posh hotel. Another area of Belfast that is quite popular for, well, having a few bevies. And if we head on up sort of behind you here, that's where we'll take you up to the university and Botanic Gardens and the Ulster Museum and places like that. But yeah, the linen quarter, a popular place for a bevy or two. And this is where the Crown Bar is, which is where I started talking about doing one of these Belfast vlogs the last time I was in town. And I don't know what it is, but even though I've just had soup, I really fancy pizza. Not quite sure why, but anyway, let's carry on wandering. Peeler's making a quick bet. By the way, Peeler's police. And this is the Crown Bar right behind me. Very nice bar indeed, if somewhat overpriced. And in fact, having now been in places like White's and Madden's and places like that there, I actually preferred it to the Crown Bar. But again, if it's your first time in Belfast, then you probably want to at least head in here, grab yourself a half, and then move on. Because it is, as I say, it is expensive. Nice place though. And then of course, as I said in my previous vlog, here is the old Europa. That is probably looking a little bit kind of old around the edges now compared to somewhere like the Grand Central, but it does have a lot of history associated with it, given the fact that it was potentially one of the most bombed hotels in Europe. And that's this one here. Never been in it. So this is us now walking up beside, around, in between all of the Belfast law courts. And I think it was about here that back in the dark old days, UTV were holding a live TV sort of update, news update there. And I think it was for something pretty sinister. And as I went walking past the camera, I decided to pull a really silly face. Completely forgot all about it. A couple of hours later, got the bus home, walked in the house and got an absolute hammering from my dad. So out of all of the areas in Belfast that have benefited from peace in these lands, degentrification is looking pretty spick and pan these days. I think this area here probably has benefited the most. So this area, in fact, just slightly up there, was the site of the old Ulster bus station, which is where we used to get the bus in from Cumber on a Saturday. Every Saturday, Mum and my sister in here. And this was a pretty rundown kind of area, and now you've got the waterfront, which is where a lot of the sort of big shows and things are on. Lots of businesses, funky restaurants. So I think, yeah, this area here has definitely benefited most from peaceful times that have returned mostly to our shores. And it is quite beautiful here now. Never actually been to a show in the waterfront. I think Nicola wanted to go and see some random, I think actually it was Michael Flatley dancing. You know, your boy with the feet. This was the, I'll try to find an old picture. This was the site of the old Ulster bus station, which I believe, story goes, my mum was due to come into Belfast that day and something happened that delayed her trip or did something to it. And I think the Cumber bus was close to or around the station when a bomb went off. And you've also got a little nod to the olden days when we had the farmers bringing their sheep to the market. And I guess these sheep have probably appeared in many a drunken photograph that people have posted on their socials. Yeah, all very nice now. Just checking out, that's an EasyJet flight flying overhead, coming in probably from London, heading towards the Aldergrove Airport. Belfast, if you didn't know, has two airports. It has the city airport, which is only about a mile away from here. I think they've started flying, Ryanair have started flying from London to Belfast City, or Aldergrove, which is about a 40-minute bus journey back down into town. And now the river behind me, made famous by a certain Ted Hastings, up the Lagan in a bubble. Yes, the River Lagan. And actually, when we used to come into Belfast to pick up my mum from shopping, I don't know whether it still happens, but the bridge just here, incredible starling murmurations as well. I think around this time of year and in the autumn time frame. Whether or not it still happens these days or not, I'm not quite sure, but yeah, this is the River Lagan, and as I say, the Ulster bus station was probably literally around here, and now it also seems like they've introduced some different forms of transport to get you around. Never been on the Lagan before. I think they probably run boat tours and things like that now as well, so yeah, up the Lagan in a bubble. And by the way, I reckon Hastings is the notorious X or Y or W or K or whatever the heck his name is. And just very briefly, keeping on the whole theme of Ted Hastings, I'm pretty sure this building here behind me here is the one that they used to depict as the boys' offices. Just a little bit of B-roll. Could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's what it was. And of course, we can't have a little tour of Belfast without coming to see the Big Fish. I think it was erected in 1999. Speaking of fish, the best fish and chip shop in the world is about a mile that way, the Bethany. Sadly, we're not going to get to go today, but it is fantastic, and I will fight anyone with pistols at dawn who disagrees. The Bethany on the Upper Newtownards Road. Go get some. Now guys, apologies for the audio. The battery on the little external wireless mic seems to have died. Hopefully get that charged up in a bit. But for now, just showing you a little bit of sneak preview of the Titanic building, which is flanked by, of course, the famous Samson and Goliath cranes at Harland and Wolff Shipbuilders. I'm not going to make my way over there, maybe if we come back and do another little extended or part 2 of our Belfast tour, we will head to places like the Titanic Centre and maybe up around Botanic and the Queen's Quarter. But in and around this area, knowing what Belfast in this area was like back in the sort of 80s and even mid-90s, it really is beautiful now. You've got the Cineworld complex here, and then just behind it the SSE Arena, which is where the Belfast Giants, the quite popular, quite successful ice hockey team play. And by the way, Paul, yeah, maybe we'll take you up on that offer for a little trip to see the Giants when we're next in town. Ooh, that's a bit bright. But I'm going to start wandering now back in towards the city centre and meet up with Nicola. But it is, I always forget, in fact, the Cumber Greenway, which is a cycle path or running path or walking path that connects Belfast to Cumber, starts from here. It's about 9 miles, and so it's actually for us living down in Cumber, if back in the day I was fit enough, quite nice to cycle in. And in fact, I have run it before. Whenever I was doing my Run August Run or Run June Run, I ran down to it, down to Cumber to give my dad his Father's Day card. Anyway, enough waffling, Nigel. Let's get into Belfast city centre again. It's such a beautiful winter's day. Really, really nice. If a little bright on the old face. And also, in the land of the blind, the one-eyed man is king. So, probably another bar that says it's the oldest bar in Belfast. Maybe it's the oldest bar in Belfast on this side of town or something. Again, another one I've never been in. I think I have a bit of a theme here. When we come back, we have to try all these places. And of course, Italy has got the world famous Leaning Tower of Pisa. Well, we have the Albert clock, leaning a little bit. And again, I think back in the day, ladies of the night frequented this area. I seem to know a lot, if you check my last vlog, I seem to know a lot of places in Belfast where ladies of the night used to frequent. It's because my mum told me. Which probably doesn't picture her or paint her in a good light either. Hashtag van life. So just crossed under the road and brought us out in Ann Street, which back in the day was definitely one of the most popular streets for shopping in Belfast. Now it's been completely surpassed, I think, by a lot of the shopping malls and more expensive shops. But this is definitely where see mum come to shop. And what was interesting about Belfast back in the sort of 70s and 80s, the pedestrian area, which is what we're walking on now, it used to have security gates. That's right, security gates to get actually into the city. So as you entered the city, you would actually have to cross through a security barrier, have your bag searched by the army, and then on top of that, every shop you went into, you also had a bag search as well. So a 4 or 5 hour shopping trip in Belfast, you probably got about 4 shops done. But then again, I only needed 1 shop back in those days, and that was Leisure World. If you know, you know. Well guys, as I go and search for Nicola, who I'm reliably informed is quite enjoying herself in the January sales, I think we're going to call it quits on our little tour of Belfast. We're fast losing the light and we're going to go and jump on a bus. You know what, I always forget that Belfast is a really, really nice, vibrant city. And maybe when we're back on these shores, we'll come back out and do a bit more of a party night or party afternoon. But for now, I'm going to go find Nicola. We'll obviously catch up in the next day or so when I think we have a ferry to catch. Oh, maybe we pint of the black stuff before we jump on that bus, eh? See you in the morning. Well, good morning guys. So we really enjoyed our bimbles around Belfast. Hope you did too. Finally caught up with this one in the shops. We went for a crafty little Guinness, and then we came home, had the last couple of days with Mum and Dad, and we have now left Ireland. Very early morning ferry across yesterday. Thankfully pretty smooth, because I think the previous couple of days had been pretty choppy. And then thankfully as well, because the north of England has got a lot of snow on it. But thankfully the roads were fine. Beautiful conditions on the way down. There's some lovely snow on the mountains, making me very jealous. And we ended up just outside Wigan in a fantastic little place. £6 a night, £8 if you want to use sort of black emptying and filling up your water, but £6 for us. Toilet here. We were all alone, obviously. A little bit of snow this morning, which seems to have now cleared, although, well, hopefully the roads will be fine. Horses and geese in there.
Fishing lake, which you can probably fish from.
And Nicola even managed to find a garden centre.
Yeah, and don't go by the reviews on Google, because the people were lovely, the selection was good, and the prices were decent. So I don't know what people have to complain about sometimes.
Oh, everyone's got something to complain. In fact, today, it's actually the first Tuesday of the new year. I think today is the grumpiest day of the year.
I'm going to try and not shop every day, because Nigel says every time we go in the shop, I buy something. Actually, I did buy something.
Yeah.
Nigel didn't break. Somebody broke Nigel's mug in the van, and they had on offer a camper van mug with a pair of socks with a little camper van on in the sale in the garden centre, so I treated him to that.
Basically, she tries to get her shopping fix by justifying it by buying something for me.
And they had some amazing boots which were really nice in the sale, but unfortunately
not walking boots.
They weren't, and if they'd been a different colour I wouldn't have even listened. But
anyway, guys, once again we're boring you with this.
Sorry.
With
anyway,
this short
so that's
outro.
one of my things. I'm going to try and go in a shop and not buy something for most of the days.
Good luck with that. Right, guys, well, we are now making our way further south. Over the next couple of days we're going to be visiting some of our friends, but we will catch up next week, when I think what we're going to do is we're going to do a little bit of looking back at 2024 and giving you a little bit of an insight into what's planned for 2025.
Hang on. Sorry, hot flash.
What's planned for 2025, because, mostly because of this one, our plans for the first part of the year have changed quite a lot.
Not my fault.
But I guess that will be a story for next time.
I'm right.
Right. Once again, thanks a lot for following along, and from a pretty wintry somewhere just outside Wigan, take care.
Oh, still not sure which one to use.
Bye-bye.